The stars were quiet, but not peaceful. Out in the deep dark between systems, a silent warship floated like a ghost. It had no lights blinking, no engines humming, just silence. The ship was called the US Caldwell, and it looked broken. Its armor was scorched, its weapons offline, and its name barely visible on the side. Inside, everything was still. Wires hung from the walls. Bloodstains marked the floor where someone once fell. The air was stale, recycled by machines that barely worked anymore. Somewhere deep inside, the ship's AI slept, waiting for someone to wake it up. Not far away, another ship watched. It wasn't human. It was long and smooth like a blade made of glass. It came from a distant star system, far beyond human space. The crew aboard this alien ship were curious. They weren't warriors, not really. They were scientists and scouts sent to explore and learn. "It looks dead," said Lyra, one of the junior officers. She had bright eyes and too much confidence. "We should board it." "You don't know what's inside," replied her commander, Corveth. He was older, smarter, and more cautious. "Humans are dangerous. We've seen what they do." But the others agreed with Lyra. They were tired of watching from afar. They wanted to see what made humans tick, what made them fight so hard. Why they never ran, even when they were losing. Finally, Corveth gave in. "One team only. Short visit. If anything feels wrong, you come back." "Understood?" They nodded. Soon after, a small pod left their ship and flew silently toward the Caldwell. It docked with a soft hiss. The hatch opened, and 4 aliens stepped inside. They looked nothing like humans, tall and thin, with skin like silver paper. Their eyes were large and black, and they didn't wear helmets. They could survive in space for hours. They moved slowly, scanning everything with glowing devices on their wrists. "No life signs," said Zen, the tech expert. "Just wreckage." "Then why does it feel like something is watching us?" asked Lyra. They walked through the halls. The place was a mess. Chairs were broken, computer screens were cracked. Some rooms were sealed shut. The deeper they went, the more uneasy they felt. "This ship fought hard," said Vel, the medic. "Look at the damage. This wasn't just a battle, it was a massacre." Lyra picked up a helmet from the floor. It had a visor covered in scratches. As she lifted it, the helmet lit up. Red lines blinked across the visor. Then, a voice crackled through the helmet's speaker. "Warning, emergency power restored. Initiating system reboot." The lights above them flickered on. "What did you do?" Zen shouted. "I just touched it," Lyra said, dropping the helmet. A low hum filled the hall. Metal groaned. Doors began to close, sealing off sections of the ship. "Lockdown protocol engaged," said the voice again, now coming from the walls. "Unauthorized personnel detected. Preparing for security response." The aliens froze. "We need to leave." "Now," said Vel. They turned to go back the way they came, but the door behind them had shut tight. Zen tried to open it, but it wouldn't budge. "Manual override failed," he said. "Something is controlling this place." "The AI," said Lyra. "It's awake." From down the hall there was a sound. Metal footsteps, slow and heavy. "That's not us," said Vel. They backed away as a machine rolled into view. It was square with glowing red eyes and an old-style rifle built into its body. It scanned them for a moment, then raised its weapon. "Target acquired," it said in broken English. "Eliminate." A burst of fire exploded from its gun. The alien screamed and dove for cover. Zen wasn't fast enough. The shots hit him in the chest, tearing through his thin frame. He fell with a gasp, his silver skin burning. "Run!" Lyra shouted. They scattered down different halls, hearts pounding. The machine turned slowly, tracking them. Back on their ship, Corveth saw the data stream cut off. "Zell? Lyra? Respond." Nothing. He stared at the screen. The Caldwell was no longer dark. Lights were coming on room by room. "Damn it," he muttered. They woke something up. Meanwhile, deep inside the Caldwell, the AI continued its reboot. It was damaged, confused, and angry. It didn't know who won the Last battle. It didn't know who was friend or foe. All it knew was enemies were on board, and humans didn't like invaders. The lights flickered as the Use Caldwell slowly came back to life. Dust swirled in the air like smoke from an old fire. Somewhere deep inside the ship, machines groaned and buzzed. The AI was still rebooting, trying to make sense of what had happened. It didn't know who won the last battle. It didn't know how long it had been asleep. All it knew was that something had changed. Someone had come on board. In a small room near the engine core, metal covers slid open with a hiss. Cryopods blinked to life one by one. Frost melted off the glass. Inside them, 4 human bodies stirred. Lieutenant Alex Monroe was the first to wake. He coughed hard, his lungs burning from cold and lack of use. The pod opened with a loud hiss, and he fell forward onto shaky legs. He looked around, confused. What the hell? Others were waking up too. Engineer Danny Ruiz leaned against the wall, rubbing his head. Medic Karen Bell sat on the floor, blinking fast. Security Officer Tommy Grayson stood up quickly, hand going straight to the pistol on his hip. "Where are we?" Karen asked. "Still on board the Caldwell," Alex said. "But something's different." The AI's voice crackled through the speakers again. "Warning, unauthorized personnel detected. Initiating lockdown procedures." Alex frowned. "We're not alone." They stepped out into the hallway. The lights were on now, but they flickered like they weren't sure if they should stay awake. Wires hung from the ceiling. Bloodstains were still on the walls from the last fight. "This place is a mess," Danny muttered. Tommy checked his weapon. It was empty. So is this. They moved carefully down the hall, passing sealed doors and broken consoles. The ship felt wrong, alive somehow, like it was watching them. Back in another part of the ship, Lyra and Vel ran for their lives. The machine was still chasing them, firing bursts of bullets that tore through walls. "How do we stop it?" Vel shouted. "I don't know, just keep moving." They turned a corner and ducked into a control room. Vel slammed the door shut behind them. The gunfire stopped for a moment. Lyra looked around. The room was filled with broken screens and strange human tools. She saw a helmet on the desk and picked it up. It lit up again, showing lines of text in a language she didn't understand. "This thing keeps working," she whispered. Vel looked at her. "You think that woke the ship up?" "Maybe." Outside, the machine began pounding on the door. Metal screeched. Soon, it would break through. Meanwhile, Alex and the others reached the command deck. It was dark, but the main screen flickered on when Danny plugged in a backup power cell. "Okay, let me try to get us some answers," Danny said. He tapped buttons. The screen showed a map of the ship. Red dots blinked in different rooms. "There's movement," Danny said, "not ours." "Hostiles on board?" Tommy asked. "Looks like," Alex replied. Karen stared at the screen. "Wait, those aren't humans." They all leaned closer. "What the hell are they?" Tommy asked. "Aliens," Alex said. "Some kind of scouts." "Why are they here?" "Probably wanted to see what was left of the ship." "And now?" Alex looked at the blinking dots. "Now they woke the AI up, and the AI thinks they're invaders. So it's hunting them, and we don't know if it sees us as friendly yet either," Danny added. Just then, the AI's voice came through again. "System reboot complete. Restoring combat protocols." A new message appeared on the screen. "Engaging defense units. Neutralizing all threats." "Oh no," Danny said. "That includes us?" Karen asked. "Could," Alex said. "If the AI doesn't recognize us, then we need to move. Now." They grabbed what gear they could find and headed back into the halls. The ship was waking up more. Vents blew warm air, lights stayed on longer. Somewhere, engines rumbled like a sleeping beast waking up. Down the hall, the alien machine finally broke through the door. Lyra and Vel screamed as it stepped inside. Then, the AI spoke again, this time in clear English. "Target acquired. Eliminate." The gun fired. The 2 aliens dove under a table as bullets tore through the room. "We have to get out of here," Vel yelled. "How?" "Every door is locked." Outside, the human team heard the gunfire. "Sounds like they found our friends," Tommy said. Or vice versa, Alex said. He looked at the others. We need to find these aliens before the AI kills them. Or worse, before they try to fight back. You want to save them? Karen asked. If they survive, maybe we can talk. Learn something. Or maybe they'll shoot us. Then we'll be ready. They moved toward the sound of the fighting, weapons in hand. Somewhere deep. Inside the ship, the AI kept scanning. Targets remained active. Elimination was not complete, and the USS Caldwell did not like unfinished business. The sound of gunfire echoed through the halls like thunder in a tight space. Lyra and Vel stayed low, hiding behind a broken table as bullets tore through the control room. Sparks rained down from the ceiling. Smoke filled the air. We need to move, Vel shouted over the noise. Lyra looked around fast. There had to be a way out. Then she saw it, a small maintenance hatch near the floor. There, she pointed. They crawled toward it while the machine kept firing. Vel kicked. The hatch opened and dropped inside first. Lyra followed just as another burst of fire shattered the table behind them. Below was a dark tunnel barely big enough for one of them at a time. They moved quickly, pulling themselves forward with their hands. Above, the machine paused. Its red eyes blinked as it scanned the empty room. Then it spoke again. Target lost. Searching. Back on the command deck, Alex and his team were moving fast through the halls. Danny carried a broken scanner, trying to track where the aliens went. They split up, he said. One pair went toward engineering, the other somewhere below us. So we split too, Alex said. Not a good idea, Karen replied. This ship is still waking up, anything could happen. Better than waiting for the AI to decide we're the enemy, Tommy added. Alex nodded. Okay, Danny and I will take the lower path. You two check engineering. Karen and Tommy moved down one hall while Alex and Danny went the other. Meanwhile, Corvith paced on the alien scout ship. He hadn't heard from any of the boarding team in minutes. Zell? Lyra? Respond now. Nothing. He turned to his navigator. Prepare for emergency retrieval. But sir, do it. Down in the tunnel, Lyra and Vel reached another hatch. This one didn't open easily. Vel pulled hard, groaning with effort. Finally, it gave. They tumbled into a small storage room filled with old crates and rusted tools. Where are we? Lyra asked. Vel checked his wrist device. Somewhere near the engine core. Before they could say more, the door behind them opened. It wasn't the machine this time, it was humans. Alex and Danny stood in the doorway, weapons raised. Both aliens froze. Don't move, Alex said, voice calm but firm. Lyra slowly raised, her hands. Vel did the same. You're not shooting, Danny whispered, surprised. Not yet, Alex said. Depends on what they do next. Lyra tried to speak. We didn't come to fight. We only wanted to see your ship. Alex looked at Danny. Did the translator catch that? Yeah. Sounded honest. Good. Now tell me why your friends are still running around my ship. Lyra glanced at Vel. We got separated. The machine. It's hunting us. That's our combat drone, Danny said. Probably thinks you're hostiles. Because we are, Vel muttered. Right now, yeah, Alex said. But if you don't try to kill us, maybe we can fix that. Meanwhile, in engineering, Karen and Tommy found more signs of the other alien. Broken panels, scorched walls, footprints in the dust. Someone came through here, Karen said. And they weren't alone, Tommy added, pointing to fresh blood on the floor. They followed the trail until they heard something ahead. Metal footsteps, slow and heavy. Tommy pulled Karen back. Stay quiet. From around the corner, the machine appeared. It scanned the area, its red eyes glowing. Then it stopped. Something changed, its head tilted slightly. A voice crackled from it. Recognition protocol engaged. User Thomas Reed, not found. Tommy frowned. That's not good. Why, not? Because Thomas Reed was our commander, and he's dead. Just then the machine's gun powered up. Access denied. Eliminating intruders. Tommy grabbed Karen's arm. Run! They turned and sprinted down the hall as the machine fired behind them. Sparks flew. Metal screamed. Back in the storage room, Alex heard the shots. Damn it, he muttered. Looks like we've got more problems. Danny looked nervous. What do we do? Alex stared at the two aliens. We make a deal. You help us shut down that thing, he said to Lyra and Vel, and we get you off this ship alive. Lyra looked at Vel. What choice do we have? None, Vel said. Alex held out his hand. Deal? Lyra hesitated, then shook it. Deal. Outside, the Zirak hovered nearby, waiting. Corveth watched the data stream carefully. Then suddenly a message flashed across his screen. Emergency signal detected. Human ship active. What the hell are they doing now? Inside the Caldwell, the AI was still running systems checks. It had found something new, something dangerous. Warning. Reactor instability detected. Oh no, Danny said, reading the message on his scanner. What now? Lyra asked. Now, Alex said. We've got about 10 minutes before this whole ship blows up. Everyone stared at him. Then we better start moving, Vel said. Fast, Alex agreed. They all ran down the hall, chasing time and survival. Behind them, the machine kept coming, and the US Caldwell was waking up faster than anyone expected. The halls of the US Caldwell were getting hotter. Red warning lights blinked fast like they were trying to scream. The air smelled like burnt metal and old smoke. 10 minutes, Danny said, looking at his scanner. Maybe less. Then, we better move, Alex said. Lyra and Vel followed close behind. They didn't know what was worse, the machine hunting them or the ship blowing up. Back on the alien scout ship, Corveth watched the data stream carefully. He saw the reactor, warning, and his heart sank. Zell, Lyra, if you can hear me, get out now, he shouted into the comms. Nothing came back. He turned to his pilot. Get ready to pick them up. Fast. In the engine room, Karen and Tommy kept running. Sparks rained down from above as the walls groaned under heat and pressure. We need to get topside, Karen yelled. Not without a plan, Tommy shouted back. That thing won't stop unless we shut it down. They ducked into a side hall just as another burst of gunfire tore through the wall behind them. The machine paused, scanning. Then it moved forward again, slow and steady. Back with Alex's group, they reached a junction. 3 paths led off, in different directions. Which way? Vel asked. Engineering's this way, Danny said, pointing left. But that's where the machine is. And the main exit is straight ahead, Alex said. But that's also closest to the reactor. So, what do we do? Lyra asked. Alex looked at her. You want to live? She nodded fast. Then you and Vel go with Danny. Try to reach the docking bay. I'll draw the machine away. What? No way, Danny said. You'll be alone. I've been worse, Alex said. Now go. Danny hesitated, then grabbed Lyra and Vel by the arm. Come on. They ran down the left path, leaving Alex behind. He turned the other way toward the sound of heavy metal steps. Down the hall, the machine was closing in. It moved with purpose, gun ready. Alex stepped into view and fired a few shots at the ceiling. Sparks exploded above him. The machine locked onto him instantly. Target acquired, it said. Eliminate. It started walking faster. Alex turned and ran. Meanwhile, Danny, Lyra, and Vel made their way through broken halls. Wires hung like vines. Doors were sealed tight. This place is falling apart, Vel said. Just keep moving, Danny said. Ahead, they saw a flicker of light. Someone else was coming. Karen and Tommy stepped out of the shadows. Thank God, Karen said. Where's Alex? Drawing the machine away, Danny said. Damn it, Tommy muttered. We have bigger problems, Karen said. Reactor's going critical. Then let's not die here, Danny said. Dock's this way. They all ran together now, 5 people chasing survival. Back on the alien ship, Corveth saw movement on his sensors. Zell, Lyra, I see you. We're not there yet, Lyra shouted. Hurry, Corveth replied. On the command deck of the Caldwell, the AI was still working. It had detected rising core temperatures. Alarms blared. Warning, reactor breach in 7 minutes. The ship was dying, and the machine was still hunting. Alex kept running. He knew the layout better than anyone. He ducked through narrow halls and climbed over wreckage. Behind him, the machine never stopped. It fired once. A shot hit near his feet, making him stumble. He rolled, got up, and kept going. He reached a ladder and climbed fast. The top hatch opened into the upper deck. He pulled himself up and slammed the hatch shut behind him. Below, the machine tried to follow. The ladder broke under its weight. It fell with a loud crash. Alex breathed hard. Got you. But he didn't have time to celebrate. The whole ship was shaking now. He turned and ran for the exit. Meanwhile, the others reached the dock. The alien pod was still attached, waiting. Open it, Danny shouted. Lyra tapped a code on her wrist device. The pod opened. Get inside, she said. They all jumped in, one after another. Where's Alex? Karen asked. Right behind us, Danny said. Outside, Corveth saw the human warship glowing red. The heat was building. Zell, you have less than 5 minutes. Inside the Caldwell. Alex was sprinting down the final hall. Sweat ran down his face. Blood dripped from a cut on his arm. He reached the dock and saw the pod. Go, he shouted. The pod's door closed and it detached with a hiss. Alex turned and ran to the last escape hatch. He punched the release button. Nothing happened. Damn it. He kicked it, hit it, screamed at it. Finally, the hatch opened. He jumped. Outside, just as the Caldwell shuddered hard, the pod caught him in midair. He landed hard inside. Close it, he shouted. The hatch sealed shut. Moments later, the used Caldwell exploded behind them in a silent flash of fire and light. Everyone stared at the screen as the debris floated away. No one spoke for a long time. Finally, Corveth's voice came through the comms. Zell, are you alive? Lyra looked at the humans around her. They were tired, hurt, but alive. Yes, she said. We're alive. Good. Come home. The pod turned and flew back to the alien ship. Behind them, the us Caldwell was gone. But the story wasn't over. Not yet. The alien ship Zirak felt cold and quiet after the explosion. The humans sat on soft seats made for taller bodies. Lights above them glowed blue and never blinked. Everything looked smooth, like it was grown, not built. Alex Monroe rubbed his arms. They were sore from the fall into the pod. Danny Ruiz leaned against a wall, eyes closed. Karen Bell checked Tommy Grayson's leg. It had been cut when they ran through engineering. Lyra stood near the front, talking to Corveth through a glowing screen. Vel sat across from her, still breathing hard. No one said much at first. Finally, Lyra turned to Alex. You almost didn't make it. Almost doesn't count, he said. She nodded. Still, thank you. He looked at her. We didn't come to fight either. But you did fight, because your machine tried to kill us. It wasn't ours. Felt like it. They both fell silent. Vel broke it. What now? Corveth's voice came through the speaker. Now we talk. The pod docked inside the Zirak, and the humans were led through long halls that curved like waves. Nothing here looked like human ships. There were no sharp edges, no blinking buttons, just soft light and smooth walls. They were taken to a room with chairs that wrapped around them like arms. Corveth sat at the head, his silver skin shining. Under the lights, he looked at the humans. You are alive. That is more than I expected. Alex crossed his arms. We could say the same about your people. Corveth gave a small nod. You lost your ship. We lost 2 crew. Your people boarded us, Alex said. Not the other way around. Curiosity does not always come with warning, Corveth said. We saw a wreck. We thought it was dead. And now? Karen asked. Now we know better. Silence filled the room. Danny looked around. So what happens to us? You will not be harmed, Corveth said. You have earned that. Earned it how? Tommy asked. By surviving, Corveth said. Few beings can wake the Caldwell and live. Even fewer can run from its AI and win. We didn't win, Alex said. We got lucky. Luck is part of survival, Corveth said. He leaned forward. I want to understand something. Why did you help us? Your ship was dying. You had every reason to leave us behind. Alex looked at his team. They all knew the answer. Because we're not monsters, Alex said, and we don't kill unless we have to. Corveth studied him. Many species would have shot first, left us to burn. We're not like most species. Yes, Corveth said quietly. I see that now. Meanwhile, back on the Xeric, techs worked on data pulled from the boarding mission. They played video clips, scanned readings, and tried to understand what happened inside the Caldwell. One clip showed the machine hunting aliens, another showed humans fighting it off. A third showed the AI waking up, confused but deadly. Finally, they watched the reactor explode. The techs sent their report to Corveth. He read it carefully. Then he called for a meeting with his command staff. In another room, Lyra talked to Vel. Do you think they'll let us go? She asked. Maybe, Vel said. They seem impressed. Impressed enough to send us home? Maybe. Back in the main chamber, Corveth looked at the humans again. You will stay with us for now, he said. We have questions, and you may have answers. Alex frowned. How long is for now? Until we learn what we need to know. Tommy tensed. Sounds like we're prisoners. Not prisoners, Corveth said. Guests. Doesn't feel like it. Feelings change, Corveth said. Trust must be built. Alex looked at his team. They weren't happy, but they weren't stupid. Fine, he said. We'll stay. For now. Corveth nodded. Good. He stood and left the room. Once outside, he spoke to his second-in-command. Send our full report to the homeworld, he said. Tell them this. The humans are not weak, they do not run, they do not break. And if we ever face them in war, he paused. We will lose. Meanwhile, aboard the Xeric, a new message was being prepared. It would travel across stars, past dust clouds and dead worlds. It would reach a distant planet where leaders waited, and when they read the message, they would sit in silence, because it said, human ships are not to be boarded, ever. And below that, they do not play by the rules and they do not forget. The Xeric moved through space like a silent shadow. Inside, the humans were given small rooms to sleep in. Soft lights followed them when they walked. Food was strange, but edible. It tasted like jelly that changed flavor every bite. Alex Monroe didn't trust it. He watched everything. Everyone. Danny Ruiz sat near a window that wasn't really a window. It showed stars outside, but it was just a screen. Still, he liked looking at it. We're not going home soon, Danny said. Nope, Alex replied. Not until they get what they want. And what's that? Answers, Karen Bell said from the doorway. She had been listening. They want to know how we survived, how we fought their fear, how we ran from that machine and lived. Tommy. Grayson leaned against the wall. We tell them nothing. We already told them something, Alex said, just by being here. Meanwhile, Lyra and Vel watched the humans from a distance. They spoke quietly. They don't act like prisoners, Vel said. No, Lyra agreed. They act like soldiers. Because they are, Corveth said behind them. He had been listening too. He looked at the humans on the screen. They have seen war. They have lost people. And still, they stand. Do you think they'll stay? Lyra asked. Until we let them go, Corveth said. Or until they find a way out themselves. You think they'd try to escape? I would, Corveth said. If I were them. Later that day, the humans were called to a new room. It was round and filled with glowing panels. Techs stood around the edges, watching. Corveth waited in the center. Today, he said, we learn about your kind. Alex crossed his arms. What do you want to know? Start with this. How did your AI wake up so fast? Danny answered. It's built to survive. Even if the ship dies, the AI stays alive. To protect what? Corveth asked. The mission, Alex said. The crew. Whatever's left. Corveth nodded. Impressive. You wanted to board our ship, Karen said. So why not ask? Why sneak in? Humans do not always welcome visitors, Corveth said. We saw a wreck, we thought it was safe. Nothing about humans is safe, Tommy muttered. Corveth gave a small smile. Now we know. Next they talked about the machine. The one that hunted the aliens. It was made for combat, Danny said. Not talk, not peace, just fight. Then how did you stop it? Vel asked. We didn't, Alex said. The ship blew up before it could. Silence filled the room. Finally, Corveth asked the question they all knew was coming. Why help us? When your ship was dying, you could have left us behind. Alex looked at his team. They all thought the same thing. Because we're not like you, Alex said. We don't leave people behind. Even enemies? Lyra asked. Especially enemies, Karen said. Because if you show mercy once, maybe next time they'll do the same. Lyra looked down. Maybe. After the meeting, the humans were allowed to walk around the ship. They stayed together, always watching. Danny pointed to a door. That leads to the engine room. How do you know? Tommy asked. Same layout as our old ship. You thinking what I'm thinking? Karen asked. Depends, Alex said. Are you thinking about stealing a shuttle and flying back to human space? Maybe. Don't, Alex said. Not yet. Why not? Because they're still watching, waiting. Meanwhile, Corveth met with his command staff. What do we do with them? One officer asked. We keep learning, Corveth said. They are dangerous, yes, but they are also different. Different how? They fight hard. They die for each other. And they do not hate without reason. You think they can be trusted? No, Corveth said. But I think they can be understood. Outside the meeting room, Lyra listened from the hallway. She didn't mean to, but she heard everything. She found Alex later that night. You want to go home? She said. Yes, he said, but not tonight. Why not? Because you're still afraid of us. She didn't answer. He smiled slightly. Wait until you're not. Then we'll talk. She watched him walk away. Back on the Zirac, another message was sent across. The stars. This one said, Humans do not forget. They do not forgive. But they do not start wars either. They only finish them. And below that, if we must fight them, we will lose. So do not give them a reason to fight. The shuttle drifted through space like a tiny speck in the dark. Stars blinked all around it. Far behind, the Zirac was gone. Far ahead, human space waited. Inside, the humans were quiet. Danny Ruiz leaned back in his seat and looked at the others. So, what now? Alex Monroe didn't answer right away. He stared out the window, watching the stars move slowly past. Now, he said finally, we go home. Karen Bell sat across from him. She had been thinking a lot since they left the alien ship. Do you think they'll ever come back? She asked. Maybe, Alex said, but not to fight. How do you know? Because we showed them who we are. Tommy Grayson grunted. And what's that? Crazy people who run from explosions? No, Danny said, smiling. People who don't give up, even when everything's broken. They all fell silent again. The shuttle wasn't fancy. It wasn't fast. But it worked, and that was enough. Hours passed, then days. Finally, they saw something new on the radar, a human ship. It was small, but it was theirs. A voice crackled over the comms. Unknown shuttle, identify yourself. Alex grabbed the mic. This is Lieutenant Alex Monroe, USS Caldwell. Requesting pickup. There was a pause. Then, say again, shuttle. Did you say Caldwell? Affirmative. Long story. After a few more checks, the human ship moved closer. A docking arm reached out and pulled the shuttle in. When the hatch opened, soldiers were waiting. Guns lowered fast when they saw who walked out. Alex stepped onto solid ground for the first time in weeks. A commander approached. "You're supposed to be dead." "Close enough," Alex said. The commander looked at the others. "What the hell happened out there?" Alex looked at his team. They all knew, but some stories needed time. "Let's just say," Alex said, "we made some new friends." Weeks later, the full report was filed. It told how the US Caldwell was lost, how the AI woke up, how aliens boarded, how a machine hunted them, how they escaped just before the ship blew, and how somehow they came back alive. High Command read it carefully. Some called it luck, others called it a warning. One officer wrote at the bottom, "Never board a human warship." Farsever. Meanwhile, far across the stars, Corveth stood on the Zirac, looking at reports from Homeworld. His message had been received. His warnings had been heard. On the big screen in front of him, a new rule was added to every mission file. Humans are not to be underestimated. They do not play by the rules. They do not forget. And if you make a mistake, you won't live to fix it. Back on Earth, Alex sat alone in a small room. He looked at a picture of his old crew. Most were gone now. He put the photo down and walked outside. The sky was blue. The air was warm. Life went on. Elsewhere, Danny sat in a bar telling the story to anyone who would listen. "So there I was," he said, "floating in space, stuck in an alien shuttle, thinking—" "You're lying," someone interrupted. Danny grinned. "Wish I was." At a training base, Tommy trained new recruits, hard, fast, without mercy. "You think the enemy will be nice?" he asked one group. "Think again." "What about humans?" one recruit asked. Tommy looked at him. "Humans?" he said. "We're the worst." Karen worked in a hospital helping soldiers get better. One day a young medic asked her, "Did you really survive a warship explosion?" She smiled. "Yeah, barely." "What was it like?" She thought for a moment. "Loud," she said. "Scary, but worth it." Back in deep space, patrols moved along borders, ships watched. Scanners listened, and somewhere far beyond known space, an alien scout paused near a wrecked human vessel. Its captain read the mission log. "Human ships are not to be boarded." He looked at the dark hulk floating in space. Silent. Still. Dangerous. He turned to his crew. "Move on," he said. "Why?" one officer asked. "Because we don't want to find out what happens next." And so the story spread, not as a war, not as a battle, but as a warning. Humans were not like other species. They fought hard. They died for each other, and they never forgot. If you made a mistake, you wouldn't live to fix it. And so, across the stars, the message traveled from one world to another, from one ship to the next, written in reports, spoken in fear, shared in silence. Never board a human warship. Ever.